with Grayscale, this is one thing maybe I'd say I disagree with Richard Hart is he makes it like the discount the gap has to close, right? The
Right.
Grayscale discount has to close. So that makes it seem like basically you're going to have the 50% discount and we're going to be sitting at, 17 to 20 or 13K, whatever. And then it's going to close to 40, 30, 20. And then there's going to be no discount. It's going to be at parity. And it's like, okay, we could go up now. Like, I don't think that's how it works.
Right.
I think the Grayscale discount is going to be there. We're going to bottom. We're going to start going up. And as the price starts pumping, it'll start to close. And then it might not close until we're at 50, 60K or maybe even higher.
Right. Do you think it'll close all the way, or do you think they'll always have some type of incentive for someone to join the
Okay, so
trust?
if I understand correctly, I think that they're trying to make it an ETF because if they do, then
spot ETF, right?
Yeah, right. Then they could arbitrage. Like if
right.
the Grayscale there's some sort of process for ETFs. The reason
Right.
why it's on the market, but it still tracks the stocks is because there's something called an authorized professional, like an AP, and they are licensed to be able to. I think if let's say the ETF is at a discount, maybe they I don't know. There's some sort of way that they take out the stocks and they sell it or something in order to.
You could ask ChatGPT, dude. It would tell you.
Yeah, you could ask ChatGPT, but I did want to look up this. There is some way to make it track. The reason why it can't track now is because it's not an ETF.
Right, and that makes sense. Now one could also argue this, and I don't know why Richard hasn't. Maybe he has used this, but dude, with the discount for the Grayscale, it's already hit below 11K. You know what I mean? Like it's already he's already hit the target of 11K. You can buy Bitcoin for 11K.
That is true. So he will always be able to see. So it's 40.
So he was right no matter what. Like so it is closing.
It is closing, and I think as we go higher, it's going to continue closing. And this actually comes back to what we were talking about earlier. Someone getting so famous they can't be right anymore. I think Richard Hart is emerging, to the forefront of cryptocurrency. He is becoming. I mean, he's still far from that. Like,
right, but he's far closer than he was.
He's getting bigger and bigger, and it may not be now, but there is going to come a point where he cannot be right if he tried.
Right, depending on where he says the answers. It's almost like he has to say it in a closed. He almost has to do it somewhere where you can prove the time of when he said it, and then he releases it later to say, "Hey, this was my call."
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
I can't tell you all because you'll front run it. Or he'll move the market by that call.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna. He's gonna be too big. It's like he's just gonna stop doing calls. Like Vitalik doesn't do calls, and Hoskinson doesn't do calls, and Richard Hart doesn't do calls on Hex because he knows that Hex is, he might not be famous enough to do calls on Bitcoin that gets priced in. But
isn't it interesting though that Vitalik doesn't do calls though? Because I mean, Vitalik is, again, like Richard always says, like, I'm the founder that doesn't dump on your head, and like, I mean, Vitalik, every single time the ETH Foundation has sold coins at the top, like that's been when they sell their coins. Is Vitalik that far removed from the ETH Foundation? And, does he not help participate in said call? You know what I mean? And could he get in trouble? Your point, I totally see your point though. It's like once Richard Hart makes the call, it's enough that he's moving the market just by calling it. And people are like, you said 11K. I'm selling my stuff right now. Then it's just a snowball effect of selling.
Yeah. And then
or he says, hey, it's going to hit 80. And then people jump back in.
Yeah. But I guess he could also, no, but he is the news. He is Jim Cramer.
Right. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if he says Bitcoin's going to, if he's that famous and he says, let's say Bitcoin's going to, I don't know, you know what? He could be right. He could be wrong, but no, I guess people are going to front run it, and then people are going to front run the front running. And then it's just like at that, like,
and then it becomes
it's just like, he can't simply make calls, like calling the top on the day. It's just not.
But so far he's been right. And including with his 11K, like if you include Grayscale, he's hit it. In fact, you can say he didn't call it low enough.
So I just keep on trying to tell people though, like he was technically wrong about the Bitcoin top because it did make another top.
Yeah, as he calls it, the Judas candle.
He calls it the Judas candle.
For a day, yeah. For a day it was for a day it wasn't in profit.
But it wasn't the top though. So I mean, he
Right.
was more right than everybody, like not even
Right.
close. Like everyone was calling for 100, 200, 300K Bitcoin.
Right.
And he's definitely a legend. But like, just because he said 11K doesn't mean it can't be 15.5. That's
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, he, like you said, he'd still be more right than everyone. But it's you know, like, yeah, because he's becoming so much more popular and people are seeing that, you know, then is it that he can't be right? It's a very good point that you bring up.
yeah. And I mean, he could still, but there is going to come a point where I don't.
Well, it's like he was. I mean, in my mind, he was already right, just in the sense that, I mean, currently you can buy. I mean, it's pretty much what, at 11K right now if you were to factor in GBTC. I mean, what's it at? I mean, 42 off of the current price.
Yeah.
Isn't that close to 11?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could do the math.
And it was certainly lower than that.
So what right now Bitcoin's at what? Bitcoin's
Is it 19 something, or I mean, I know that it dropped from 20 to 19 yesterday.
We got my trusty calculator here. Okay, BTC.
Yeah. What kind of calculator are you using? Are you on the phone, or are you using
The phone?
like a
Yeah.
text instrument? Okay, I need to find my old financial calculator from grad school, man. Like, I used to love that thing, man. You could run net present value functions, although now you can just ask Chat GPT to do that. So forget about it.
Okay, so wait, so 8773. So that would be minus 2889. What? Whoops. 2889. It's right now the discount. The Greyscale Bitcoin is at 12,111.
So 12,111. But and if you were to go back when it was a bigger discount, and then the price on that day,
it was under 11. I think
Yeah.
Maddie said it was 9. The point
Yeah,
is that we see here though, as Bitcoin goes up, right? This entire time, see, I would never say that I'm a chartist, but I guess now when Bitcoin was going up, there was a discount. There was a premium present. I'm sorry.
Right.
When this was around the top, was this the top or no? December 22nd. I would imagine it's near the top. It's
no, of 20, no, because the top was in 21.
The top was in.
Yeah, the top was in.
Okay.
Wasn't it in January of 21?
Wait, so there was already a discount on the top. So why does that mean we can't go? We could go to all-time highs with the discount. I don't know if there has to.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean,
yeah. When was the Bitcoin top? Wasn't it in? Because let's
see.
I mean,
it was a year before 2022, right? No, November 2022. It was November 2021 because November
2021. Yeah, November 2021.
So November 2021, there was already a discount, and there's been a discount for a while despite Bitcoin's appreciation. I guess maybe did it start at the first top? When was the first top? I don't know.
Let's see. In which year?
What was the date of the 64K? When did Richard Hart make that tweet? That would tell you the date at the top.
I'm going to ask Chat GPT. When was Richard Hart's Bitcoin call for the top? I'm just going to see if it knows. Oh, it just says he's a well-known crypto influencer, is known for. Oh wait, I'm not aware of his top calls.
December 17th. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. If the chat's seen it, I moved my screen so that and I can't see the chat now. I need to move it back because my monitor is a 70-inch that's like 2 feet away from me. So that's why when I'm like looking, I realized that when I was looking at you, it looked like I was looking way off screen.
Oh, April. It was about April 2021. April 2021.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Grayscale Bitcoin, April 20.
Hex Bear, if it drops to 11,001 cents, would you say he was technically wrong?
Yeah, so there was already a discount when it was at all-time highs. So if it was at all-time highs and there was a discount, why can't it go back to all-time highs with a discount?
I agree. Why would it have to close all the way?
Yeah, why would it? It's not so. The way that Richard Hart says it, and I don't know if it's how he means it, is like it's like we're down and we keep going down, and then okay, discount closes and we're at parity or premium. Now we go up. Like I think if it closes, it'll probably close on the way up.
So wait, go back to when it was at a premium instead of a discount.
Okay. This
Now,
is the last.
why was it at a premium then? I mean, was it because we were just in a bull market? Because if that's the case, then I mean, then
It's a good question.
because it does look like during the bear market, it was selling at a premium, which is like, man, that's crazy that you'd be buying Bitcoin at higher than it actually costs to actually have physical custody of it.
So I think maybe the reason for the premium was basically they let accredited invest right. You could only buy it from Grayscale if you're an accredited investor, and
Right.
then you're not allowed to sell for 6 months.
Right.
So that could be why, because they
Like, but
weren't.
it's like
And then there
accredited
was
investors can also just buy. Maybe it's just it was new. It was the way that they can invest their money and feel that they were more protected and so they were willing to do it. I guess just with knowledge, I would not.
oh,
You
so
know,
no, there was a play. There was a play. It was basically people just since it was at a premium, accredited investors. This was actually this is very deep stuff we're going into, which I honestly am not an expert. So you guys all have to, double check what I'm saying. But Rand Neuner talked about this. Basically, what you had it was trading at a premium.
right?
Whatever reason, it was trading at a premium. Probably because there's a 6 month lockup period. Like imagine Bitcoin had a 6 month lockup period. It's like a 6 month stake.
Yeah,
Bitcoin would do better. Its price would do better because people wouldn't sell on impulse, I guess.
right.
So that could be the reason. I don't know. I just made that up myself, actually, but it was at a premium. So people are like, hey, I could go buy this. I'm an accredited investor. Here's an arbitrage play. I'll buy
And
this.
they could legally buy it, right? A lot of that institutional money would not legally be allowed to go into actual Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
the only play.
Yeah, that's true too. But they basically said we'll buy it and then Bitcoin price will go up and the premium will get bigger, I think. And then they'd sell it on
Yeah, I
retail.
see. Right.
And then
Makes
there was
sense.
a discount. So there were these people that were there were the I think it was like I think Genesis might have been doing this. They were borrowing money to buy a premium to buy premium Bitcoin because they
Yeah.
were assuming the premium was going to keep going up and they'd be able to sell it on the market. No, maybe no, they buy it for the Bitcoin price and then they could sell it on the open market at a premium or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because it's essentially. I mean, if I kind of, I guess maybe I'm incorrectly thinking about this, but it's almost like Maximus to Hex, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
exactly.
derivative. It's a derivative of Bitcoin, even though it's an ETF, but it's really a derivative, even though they hold the Bitcoin supposedly. And I mean, didn't Coinbase come out and say like, hey, we officially say that they do have the reserves, and they put out a letter that says we are saying that we agree that they do have the reserves, that because when FTX went down, people were like, does Grayscale even have the Bitcoin?
They
And so they
refused
had
an
to write a
audit. You
letter.
know that they
Yeah,
they
they
re-
refused. Wait,
refused
you're
an audit.
saying Grayscale did or
I think both.
Coinbase did? They
I think
refused an
both.
audit at the time because I know that they do get audited by oh my gosh, what am I thinking of the
Oh,
Dooney
the
not
Deloitte,
Deloitte
Deloitte,
and
I think.
Touche, yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna say
So
Dooney and Burke, the damn purse brand, Deloitte and Touche.
so
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, they get. I don't know. There was some proof of reserves thing they didn't want to submit to, and they said it was for security reasons. And I guess we have to take their word for it. But I don't know if that means
Yeah.
they're backed or not. But I think the accredited investors get to buy the Bitcoin trust at spot price, and then they could sell it on the open market at a premium. And the problem was that
Ah, I
so that
see.
was the arbitrage play, I think.
That makes sense. That
But
makes
then,
sense.
yeah, but the problem is that they have to wait for the 6 month unlock,
Yeah.
and then it started. The price dumped, and it started trading at a discount.
At a discount. Yeah. So
So
it's like
so
now
people
your
got
best.
leverage to buy the spot they thought would be at a premium, and now they can't sell it for as much, and they get margin called, and they can't pay back their loan.
Yeah. Brutal,
So
man.
yeah, that's
Brutal.
that's uh that's
They got they got shredded, and that's a lot of the reasons why you can argue that that we're at least at the start of the bottom, or that the bottom's in, is that there's been so much blood in the streets. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot, but it's like, it's like when you get to the top, although Richard did call the top, or and called the closest top that anyone else had. It's like, you never know. Like in bull markets, you always think it's going to keep going up, and in bear markets, you always keep thinking it's going to go down. And you're never right. Like it starts spiking back up when you think there's going to be more blood in the streets, and then when you think that there's going to still be just more free money, is when it starts to just start tumbling down.
Yeah.